I've just come from a meeting of the Australian National Cabinet, a gathering of Australia's state and federal leaders to discuss our experience with COVID-19 on both sides of the ditch, what we can learn from one another, and how we might be able to work together as we recover from this pandemic. Australians and New Zealanders travel across the ditch more than they do anywhere else. New Zealand is Australia's second largest source of tourists after China, with 1.2 million visitors last year, and 1.6 million Aussies visited us. So we both stand to benefit from getting travel up and running again. Now, I'm very keen, of course, as I've always said, that the advantage we have of getting back in control of the virus has been to try and get back to some form of normality. International travel won't feel like that for some time, but if we can find a way to make it work with Australia, then that would give that sense of normality, if we can make it work. There are obviously within Australia still restrictions around domestic travel, and those are ultimately issues for Australia. I think simply the position that I would take on behalf of New Zealand is that when we feel comfortable and confident that we both won't receive cases from Australia, but equally that we won't export them, then that will be the time to move. The whole purpose of us discussing the possibility of having a bubble of sorts between us, a safe zone of travel, would be so that you wouldn't have to have a quarantine attached. I think everyone would acknowledge that it would be prohibitive. People just wouldn't travel if they had to stay on either side in quarantine for a 2-week period and have to do the same again when you return. But there is still a lot of work to be done before we can progress an idea like that, but it's obviously being floated because of the benefits that it would bring.